Hey guys, today we're building this Shimano XTR M900 derailleur. So one of my favorite derailleurs of all time. Yeah, I'm finally back for good. I'll be doing a lot of fork videos, more derailleur videos. This is actually the last mountain bike derailleur video. So if you have any vintage mountain bike derailleur, I have videos for every single one of those. I'm almost done with the road stuff, and Suntour is coming soon. The only tools you need are a pick, some pliers, and some Allen keys, and a screwdriver. I didn't mean to say I'm almost done with the road stuff. I'm pretty far away from the road stuff, but that's going to be done pretty quick. Hopefully get that done in the next half a year or so, or maybe even less. We'll see. Suntour's coming, and then lots of forks on the way. All right, now to service the B-knuckle, you want to pull the cage back like this, hold it, and then you want to unscrew that little pin. When you pull it back, try not to scratch the cage. Pull this out, and then it should spring out. Then you want to grab your 5mm and just unscrew this bolt. And now for the pinnacle, just remove this little plastic clip and then unscrew the B-limit screw. Now grab your pick, and you want to find a little groove where the clip is and pull it off. And then you want to grab this tab and pull it towards you. If trouble, you can get a pick in here and just kind of wedge it out a little bit, and it should spring right out. There we go, comes out. On top of here, there's also a little rubber O-ring. Now everything is fully taken apart, and now it's time to clean. For this, I like to use brake cleaner, alcohol, some kind of degreaser. For the hard stuff, like really big chunks of dirt, you can use a steel brush, or a brass brush is better. And I'm gonna be using an ultrasonic cleaner in my case, but remember, this one has a sealed bearing pulley. So if you are using one, don't put the steel bearing pulley in the ultrasonic cleaner. Also, another thing I forgot to mention, make sure you push out your bolt. All right, so now we're gonna rebuild the sealed bearing pulley. First thing you wanna do is just observe how it spins. Is it rough? Does it make a lot of noise? Is it smooth? If it's smooth and you don't hear a lot of noise, I would just leave it alone. But mine's a little bit rough and it's making a little bit of noise. It sounds like it's low on grease. So I'm gonna open it up and re-grease it. First you gotta do is just pop off this little washer, pop off the seal, then you just pop off the other side. And then there's the rubber seal. You wanna go from the inside and you wanna pop it out like this. Okay, so my bearings are a little bit dirty in there. They're not rough at all. They're not very rough, they're just dirty. So if you hear, they sound a bit dry, so in this case, I will be putting it in the ultrasonic cleaner. It's going to clean out all the dirt and all the gunk. If you don't have one, you can use some degreaser and a toothbrush, or you can run it under a sink. Just make sure after you do that, if you run it under a sink, you want to dry it off so nothing rusts in there. Also, if you have pulleys with worn teeth or the bearings are completely shot, I'll have a link in the description for some replacement ones. I'm going to be using this ultrasonic cleaner, and all I use is water and dish soap. Alright, so now everything is all nice and cleaned down. I also gave some of the chrome parts a wax with some of this Quick Glow chrome wax. And before we get to assembly, I'm going to show you how to put together the sealed bearing pulley. Alright, so our pulley now is all nice and clean. Put it in the ultrasonic. You want to make sure it feels nice and smooth. Make sure there's no roughness, and visibly check if there's any dirt in there. This is just some old grease. That's fine. As long as it feels smooth, there's no noises, you don't feel any rubbing. After this, you can get some of your Park Tool grease, bearing grease, and just put a little bit in there. All right, so now all our grease is nice and packed in. I don't have a grease gun, so I just used this little pick. And grab your seals and make sure they're clean. I put mine in the ultrasonic, so you know they are. And stick them on. When you put them on, you want to make sure You see the two metal rings, the outside one and the inside one. Poke them down with your fingernail, make sure they pop in, kind of. You'll know when they're in. And this is how your seal should look. You see there's the two metal rings, one on the inside, one on the outside. After that, you want to make sure you wipe down any of the excess grease. All it's going to do is attract dirt. And there you go. Now it should last another 500 years. And you grab your two little metal seals, one right here, push it in, and then the other one like this, and it just clicks on. I hear that click, and now it's good. Oh, never mind. Make sure you click it on, and make sure this part doesn't stick out as much. You want that to kind of push in all the way. So you want to make sure the sleeve, it doesn't stick out on any side, so that means both of your little washers are in place and secure. And now another thing you're going to need for the assembly is grease. Also, I was trying to polish this thing, but I realized it's hard anodized, as many of the XTR M900 components are, which means there's like a clear coat kind of hard layer over the aluminum, which means if you try to sand it, it's just not going to work. But maybe if you're watching this 50 years from now, the hard anodizing faded off and you can sand it now. But I heard that it's really hard to remove, so I'm just going to keep it this way. It doesn't look too bad anyway. So, all right, now first step, you want to grease up your P-knuckle. Make sure you get all the sides nice and good. Then you want to grab your little rubber seal, put it on, put it in the groove. Then grab your bolt, make sure it's the one with the two ridges in it, and slide it in, rotate it in as you go, so you can distribute all the grease evenly. Now you want to grab your spring. One side is going to be indented in a little bit, one side is going to be flush. You want a side that's indented in to stick up, and then you want to find the hole in here and stick your new spring. Make sure it goes all the way down like that. Now you want to grab the smaller of the two little seals. This one's going to be a light gray one. You can just slide it on and then put on your retaining clip. Make sure it goes all the way down like this. Now you want to grab your pliers, grab this at a 45-degree angle, twist it, and then push it down. Make sure the bolt is all the way through. Like that, and then have your clip on standby and slide it on. And after that, grab your plastic cover. All right, now same thing for the B-knuckle. You want to grease it up nice and good. Then you want to grab your plastic seal and slide it in the groove. And now for the cage, you want to grease up the inside, outside nice and good as well. Then grab your spring. You want to have the short end stick into one of these two holes. The left one is the tighter one, right one is the looser one. I usually go with the tighter one. It's my recommendation. And remember, there's also a little washer that goes on top. You see right there. You want to grease that up as well. And before you screw in your bolt, make sure the spring goes all the way in like this. Make sure it's all the way down, and then grab your cage and put it on. After that, you want to screw in this bolt almost all the way. Make sure it sits flat. Make sure you don't strip it. Then you grab your cage. You rotate it counterclockwise all the way around until it's right here, and then you screw in the pin. And you want to tighten this bolt just enough so this moves freely and springs back normally, like this. All right, and now for the pulleys, you want to grab your ceramic guide pulley, then you want to grab your little seals, make sure they face outwards, put them in. Then for grease, I like to use Ceram butter, just put a little bit on this inside edge, and then grab your other ceramic bushing and put some on the inside of that edge too. All right, after you got those greased up, you don't need much because it's ceramic. You want to marry those two bushings together and then grab your seals, slide them on as well. You don't want to grease anything on those little rubbers because that's going to attract a bunch of dirt. And there you go. And now you want to slide through your bolt, put a little bit of grease on it, and put on your pulley. Then you want to screw in your cage and put on your other pulley. For the tension pulley, you don't have to put any grease, but I'm just going to put a little bit on just so it won't rust, and put on your pulley. And now you want to tighten down your pulley bolts. You want to make sure they're tight. Make sure these roll nice and smooth. These are very, very smooth. That's good. And then screw on your baler adjuster and your clamp bolt, and you have yourself a fully rebuilt derailleur. Look at that thing. Beautiful. And one last little note. You see this little adjuster here. There's an arrow. If the arrow is on the left side, it means the spring is on the looser setting. If the arrow is on the right side, that's on the tighter setting, and I usually keep it on the tighter setting. There you go. It's very surprising how different this derailleur is from like a regular XT735. It just shows how much extra effort was put into developing this derailleur. And yeah, I'll have a lot of more videos coming soon, more derailleurs, more road bike stuff. So yeah, make sure to stay tuned. Thank you to everyone who subscribed, and I'll see you guys in the next video.